Alright, so I'm back, and today, since I had these guys down for the Hannibal review, I figure might as well do a quick once-over on how they're holding up with the Maketoys Chromedome. And then tomorrow we'll look at the hardhead. So here he is. Let's see here. This one I've already done the replacement parts, like the feet and the hips. Something on there, I guess, wasn't very well built or something. I don't know. It came with the figure when I bought it. I got this one on eBay, I think, about $100, and I think he's getting reissued for about $80. So it's like, if you're patient, you can get him for about $80. But yeah, let's just take a quick look at him. So the head is, the same headmaster kind of gimmick that we've seen 1,000 times at this point. Let's see here. This rotates down, right? Come on. Nothing really to write home about. At least, when he transforms, the face kind of collapses a little bit. But past that, it's pretty much standard. The head does not move. That helps make it more stable in its and when it combines. Come on. There we go. So yeah, there's the head. All that works pretty well. No, I don't have any real issues with the headmaster. So it does swivel. It does hinge forward a good bit, and if you untab it, so the way that hinge works is this will come out like this. So if you want them to look up, all you have to do is rotate this around, untab, and plug it back in, so it retains the left and right, and then he can look up. So it's one of those. It works. It's a little funky to get it to work, but it does work. Shoulders, friction ball joints. So around here, there's a little bit of a butterfly in there, and it goes out to the side. No issues there. Bicep swivel, bends at the elbow. Wrist swivels. The fingers are all on one pin. This is a very dated looking hand, to be completely honest with you. A little bit of a waist swivel. I don't know. It does pretty good. Yep, it's good. It just was kind of tight. You just kind of have to move this out of the way. Not the end of the world there by any means. Legs up to here, back to there, and nothing really out to the side. I think it does go, but it's so tight, and I think that's the thing that we replaced. And these thighs are so tight too. Oh, oof! I don't recommend doing that. Super tight knees. And then he's got the rocker and tilt. So, there's not too much to really go over with this guy. I think, if they did a reissue of him, let's say, which I know they are, but let's say they do a new one, and they did a little bit more finish on him, because he looks great. He's one of the few where it's like it's bare plastic, but because there's so many breakups that it's just I think having him fully painted would be actually a mistake. I think just doing like a finish on it as opposed to a paint job, just kind of give him like a little bit of a glossier look, I think, and give him new hands. But for the love of fucking God, do not use the same kind of hands that you did with the stupid ass Seeker. because those were just garbage. Do not do that. But if they did new hands and kind of refine the hip joints and the knee joints, I think it would be a pretty viable figure still. As it is, I mean, at $80, you know, or 80 to $100, I think is a good price. I wouldn't spend more than $120 on it. And I know Fans Toys, I think, is supposedly making one, but they're supposedly making everything in the world except for a fucking Megatron. And that's the one I want. It's like, come on, just do a Megatron already. Because I would love to see their take on a Megatron and have like that G1 cartoon Megatron that actually cleans up nice. Anyway, sorry. I think it's it's a mistake if Fans Toys is doing this guy, just because it's like, can we do Brainstorm and Highbrow first, like just so that some of us could have like the full set, you know, of Autobot Headmasters, and just be like, okay, this is what I wanted, and then we can move on. You know, and then replace them, because then it would be like, well, you know what, those two do look out of place, and then maybe I will get the Fans Toys one, rather than jumping right to it. As it is, I don't know if I'll get the Fans Toys one or not. Maybe not. Headmasters were never my favorite, but it's like, since Fans Project put out their Chromedome, I've actually really enjoyed the Headmasters, so it's like, it's actually third party's the reason why I like Headmasters, so it's like, I guess that's a good thing. Scale-wise, there he is with the Prime. So he's about the same size. Looks good. I mean, I think it still looks like a really good figure. Here he is with the Hannibal. Again, I think they look good. You know, he's obviously got more detail, but it makes sense because, again, like I was saying in his review, you know, he just turns into a head, so there's not really going to be any carports or anything like that. So it's like, it makes sense that he's more plain, whereas he's going to be more detailed. Quick question. You know, maybe you guys can answer this. What did Cerebros turn into before he turned into a head? Because I don't know. Did he actually turn into anything in the cartoon? I can't remember. And it's like, I was thinking about that the other day. Like, what the fuck did he turn into? Was he just a bear robot waiting for something to happen? I mean, I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Anyway, I think it's a great figure. I still do. It's pretty solid. I think, you know, like I said, it's like if they were to reissue it and do some refinements on a few bits here and there, you know, I think it's still a pretty viable Headmaster for you. I don't have much negative to say, except, you know, like, let's refine the hips, the knees, and probably these ankle joints, which is, you know, and it's funny because it's like, those are the things that I replaced when I got this guy, because he came with replacement feet and hips. So it's like, did replacement work, and it doesn't seem to really do anything. But I don't know. But anyway, I mean, I always liked the way Maketoys figures looked, their Headmasters anyway, and I just think they should. I would love it if they finished them, or if, like I said, if somebody else came along and did the other two first, and then we could have the full set. But yeah, all in all, I think it's a good looking bot. I will give this guy 7 out of 10. I think he's a really good, still a good viable, you know, some of the other older figures that we've looked at in the recent past, like the Blitzwing, for example, where it's like, it looks dated and feels dated. This doesn't feel all that dated. You know, it feels like it needs some refinement and maybe a finish on it, but I think it's still a pretty viable figure. I mean, ideally, I would love to get some new hands on there, but like I said, it's like, I would hate to see them put new hands on there and they be like those Seeker hands that came on the purple one, because those are just garbage. So I recommend him. And like, if you can get him for a decent price, I'd say anything under 120. I think you'll be pretty satisfied with him still. Pretty viable figure still. Holds up pretty well.